Welcome back. It is time for another story. It was around 2010, maybe 2011. I think it was 2010. I honestly can't remember. But a light came on somewhere, and somewhere in here, in this place, this beautiful bald head. No, a light came on, and I said I realized I kept either asking out or falling for very uh, emotionally and mentally unhealthy women, and I sat myself down, uh, probably because I finally had enough pain, and I sat myself down and I said, "Look, man, you every single one of these women is really unhealthy, and there are millions of healthy women out there who are looking for a life partner. It's time to consider that maybe, just maybe, there's a problem with the dude doing the picking." And and I decided, all right, I'm gonna stop. And I only asked out at that point. I'd probably asked out 10 women in like 8, maybe 9 years. I didn't ask a lot of women out on dates, but um, because I was focused on my kids and the ministry, that's what I was focused on. Okay, so around 2010, maybe 2011, I think it was 2010. I I made this decision. I'm going to just not ask any women out at all. I'm not going to even consider any kind of romantic relationship. I'm going to focus on getting myself healthy and getting myself right. And don't read too much into that word right. Okay, just I decided to focus on getting me as mentally and emotionally healthy as I could. And I started the work. And of course, like most people doing this, uh, it was in fits and starts, and I'd do really well for a while, then I'd fall off the wagon of personal care, self care, therapy, that type of thing. I would fall off the wagon, and then I'd go back into it again. And anyway, it took a long time, but after around 2014, I really came to the conclusion. I It was kind of another epiphany, and I just said, I'm pretty happy by myself. I don't actually need anybody, and I realized that if I was going to seek a romantic relationship, it was just because I wanted to get laid. I had no intention of having a long term relationship and whatnot. And I just, how do I put this? I don't, and to this day it's the same. I don't place any value on, and I mean none, on the things that most women uh, place value on: uh, financial and physical security, uh, bigger, better house, newer, more reliable car, uh, nice clothes, makeup, hairstyles, all of those things. There's nothing. I'm not judging anybody who is into that stuff. I'm simply saying I got to the point where I was able to be honest with myself and say, I don't value those things in any way, shape, or form. I just don't. I don't. I am incapable of dedicating thousands of hours of labor every year so I can be a slave to those things, to keep paying for those things. It's just not in me, and it never has been. So I made the conscious decision about 2014 that I was, I was done. I was done dating. I wasn't seeking a romantic relationship. I haven't since. There have been a couple that, kind of got me to look a little bit, but then I remind myself, no, you don't actually want the things that they want, and it even if they're giving you vibes, and they're clearly letting you know that they're also interested. It's not going anywhere, and it's not fair to you or them to pursue this, and so I didn't. Right. And honestly, I mean, I still struggle with depression. I still struggle once in a while, not very much anymore, but I still struggle with a little bit of low self-worth. The depression, I don't have a whole lot of control over. I still have PTSD. I'm working really hard on it. I still have these things, but at the same time, I'm also very happy by myself. And I'm just one of those people who was able to get there. Do I still wish I could have a whole lot of sex? Of course I do. But I'm about to be 55. It's not anyway. As you mature, those things aren't quite as important anymore, and they aren't providing the internal pressure as much either. I may have to redo this whole video. Anyway, I stopped dating. I focused on getting myself healthy, and along the way, I realized I was happier single than in a relationship. It's a possibility for you. It may not be your thing, but it's a possibility. And for all you single parents out there, maybe consider it. Maybe don't. It's up to you. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.